could put a DCG in the box if that'd be a situation that you'd like to be in. I'll put one in the box because I'll be trading it all the time, right? Now, that's 17% on the share side. Now, keep in mind, you see this green money sign? We actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're about to get our 9th dividend in about a month just for owning these shares. So if Hershey pays you 5% a year, now we're on 2 years now. You can take 17%. Now you're really sitting in at 27% ROI. That's a game changer. You're getting paid money, right? If you had $1 million of capital and you put it into Hershey Company and you believe that Hershey would never fail and you're going to make 5% a year, you'd get about 15, 30, 45, you get 12, 20, you get about $13,000 every time this green money sign prints. 13,000, 13,000, 13,000. You get about 50 grand a year, right? That's more than some people's retirement. Some people only get $2,000 to live off of when they get to their 62 or 64. And we're going to get more than that, right? So my goal, like I said, is to compound the shares because the shares is so stress-free, but it's just my opinion over the long haul. That is why I always preach you should be buying shares, especially with some of the profits that you got, right? And that's just Hershey. We could do any single company we wanted to, right? That's the hard way to do things. I'm going to simplify it, and I'm going to show you a tool that I have that you guys could all have as well. And I'm going to bring this up right now. Let me make sure. All right, they left. We're good. I'm going to share this tool in the box, right? Copy. I'm going to put this in the Zoom box. So now this is the easy tool if you wanted to, right? Now it's not Michael Kors sandals. Since we're talking about Hershey, right? We're just going to put Hershey in the box. HSY, that's the stock symbol. Let's just say we wanted to put in, we'll say we put in $1,000. I mean, we all can put $1,000 in, and let's just say every month you set off $100, right, to put into the account, but every month you're not putting $100 in because we're waiting till we get undervalued. But this principle, this dollar cost average calculator, is showing if you just set in $100 every single month, no matter what, right? And we can start January of 20. We could just do 2018. This is a 5-year cycle, or 2018 to 23. This is a 5-year cycle right here. So if we start off with $1,000 and we put $100 in each year, and we can press calculate, check this out. This tells me on the graph, my $1,000, right, is now sitting at $12,160. $12,160, and that is not including the 25% more profit you're going to be sitting in due to the dividend, right? So you come up here and it shows you everything. You'd have $1,000 initial investment. You have a total amount invested of $6,000. In 5 years, you just doubled up your money. You just doubled up your money, but you'd actually be up higher because you get dividends on that on top. So the last 5 years, if you get 5% off of this a year, which I'm not sure if this is 5%, I'm just saying, just throwing that number out there. It might be like 3.7 or 4.1. But if it was 5%, right, and you held it for 5 years, you actually are another 25% higher.
You are currently the only person in this
right?
conference.
So you see how powerful that is? That's crazy. That's just one company. You know what I mean? And it's a visual point. So like this is a company where it's like it's harder to buy in right now because how high it is. We need a reset, right? So if we go back again and we type in a company, and this is what got me really buying shares. My buddy bought Tesla, and he'd buy about 2 shares or 3 shares a month. So he'd put about $250 in, and his initial investment, we'll just say, would be $1,000, right? He started buying shares in 2018 every 2 weeks with his paycheck, and in 2021, he almost had like $350 or so thousand, right? Think about it. When he was buying Tesla shares, they were $200, $300 a share and accumulating shares for one whole year. He invested about $12,000 into this company, right? So we could almost say that we'll just say his initial investment. Well, we can't really say that because at the end of the year he had 12 grand in. So if we did 250 times, yeah, it'd be more. Let's just say we'll just put 5 grand in as his initial investment. At the end of the year, he had hit about 12 grand. Or Amazon, Tesla went parabolic, and his 12 grand ended up 4 or 5xing, right? Or 10xing or something, or 10xing because his cost average was about $250 a share, and it went to $2,000 a share. Then they did the split, so it was like a 4-to-1 or 5-to-1 split. Then all his shares got times 4 times 5, and then it ended up going another 2 or 3x. So like think about it. You had 12 grand and it 10x. Now your 12 grand's worth $120,000. Then your $120,000 2x or 3x, 120 to 240, 240 to 360. That's crazy. You would never be in that position if you never bought shares. So if we calculate the returns, right, and you look at this, at one point, your total amount invested is $15,000. It's worth $70,000 right now. But keep this in mind. There's no way that you're not taking profits on this parabolic move to the upside. I told him to take profits way up here, and this is skewed a little bit because he actually made more money. If you were one of those forever holders, you're still in net profits. You're still up 15, 30, 45, 60. You're up 320% ROI. And that's after this huge 50% retracement. You see that? Put a 1 in the box if you see the power of buying shares now. And you guys can play. We can play with this all night. I'm saying you guys got the link now. You can play with it whatever you want. Find a couple companies you like. Apple. I like Apple. You start off with $1,000, right? And we'll just say you save $200 a month, right? And you did this over the last 2 years or 3 years. I like to run it at every 5-year cycle, and this is why. So like when I look at this graph, you'd have 12 grand. You're up almost 100% ROI. I like to see when price pushes up and then you start getting these down moves. I know that now's an area like I want to be cost averaging into this around this area right here. So like let me get my drawing tool again. I want to be buying shares. Like I personally don't like to buy shares as price is ripping up. I'd rather wait for it to fall and then buy shares here. And if it falls again, I'll buy shares down here. If it falls again, it might buy shares here because at some point, in my opinion, this has a 2% or less probability to fail. I think it's going to return and then continue to make another high. So I'd rather buy or dollar cost average, right, into my trades, but I still have a trading plan in buying the dip. Yep, Tracy said it best, buying the dip. But I still have a plan doing that, right? So I'm not just buying the dip like, oh, it's on sale today, I'm going to buy all this money. No, I don't do that. I wait for it to match up to my plan, and this is my plan right here. You go to Apple, AAPL. You'd bought your shares way over here, right? You'd have bought shares probably right here. It went against you. You might have bought more shares right here. Then we end up going parabolic moves. Price comes down. You might have bought more shares again right here. And you zoom out and look where Apple's at right now. Apple's on sale right now. So this is a great time to be buying shares on Apple, in my opinion. But the thing is like if you have kids, you should be setting them up for a good account. So like my rule is like my son's 3, my daughter's 5. I'm building them a portfolio where I'll be buying them shares off this, like the same method, and they're just going to hold it for 18 years, right? So now you do something so crazy. You go back to our app, and it's like you can buy something cheap like Apple, and let's go back to 2000, right? So or my daughter's 5, so 10, 15, it'd be about 18. I'd want her to get it at maybe 21. So we'll just say 20 years. So 2003. And let's just say I start off with 1,000 and I put $100 in every month on average, right? That's buying one share. 2003. Check this out. Calculate the return. My daughter does not know how, she don't need to do anything. Look where her money's at. $1,000 starting. Total amount invested over the years is $24,000. Look what my daughter would have worth right now over 20 years. $1.8 million. And she's taken care of. Now I'm going to give her the opportunity to be able to do whatever she wants to do that's in her heart, and put her in a better position than I may have been when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my plan. So I believe in Apple. And look, Apple's falling down pretty hard. Like, it's a good time to buy. You know what I mean? You can do this with other companies. I like Ford. Same thing if I did this with Ford. You press calculate return. Ford, they're $1,000, right? Over this time, she'd be at $50,000. That's still a pretty good account to get rolling. But you're not just buying one company. And that's the key. The key is staying diverse with a couple companies, right? What's another one I like? Waste management. Waste management. All right. $1,000 turns into $138,000. All while prepping this now over the next 10 or 15 years for the kids. And it helps them out. Like, what would you do if you had this like 150K or 200K? Now you got your retirement set up for their family, and you're putting them in a better position to succeed. Anyway, like I said, I love shares. That is why I feel the power of buying shares. And I think each and every one of you guys and girls should be doing the same exact thing. But that is just me. Everybody put a 1 in the box. Hey, awesome. All right. Anybody have any questions? Feel free. If there's a stock you want to see, let me know. If not, we'll move to the next stage. All right. So another tool I wanted to give you guys where's it at? Right here. There's another tool I want to give you guys. We're going to give you finviz.com. This is a free thing that you could use. I'm going to put it in the chat. IMVH. All right. We can see that. Let's see what it's like. I mean, if it's a penny stock, LMVH. Got you. All right, let's check it out. LMVH. You press calculate return. Nah, this is probably like this is an Australian security. Unless I put it in wrong. LMVH. Does that come up on Thinkorswim? LMVH. Yeah, it don't even come up on Thinkorswim. Is it a different company, Tracy? Just let me know. Just type it in the box in. Go back to SPY. Gotcha. Well, I'm not sure if that's a ticker. And if it is, maybe it's traded on the Australian exchange. Yeah, she said Louis Vuitton. Let's go. You know what I mean? All right. So, yeah, you guys got it. You can play around with it. Same thing. You know what I mean? Even if you want to be more realistic, I mean, say your kid is 10 and you want to bless them for 10 years. 2013, same thing. You pick a good company, MSFT, and you run it for 10 years. You get the idea. $1,000 is $51,000 right now. I just shown you 3 or 4 companies that are very solid, that you're putting in $3,000 to start, and then you're putting in $300 a month, a commitment over the next 10 years. And now, hey, they're in a real good place. You know, they only need one of those stocks to push up, and then I mean, they're all going to be good. You know what I'm saying? Stock may be all right. Let's see. Let me see if it comes in here first. LVMUY. Yeah, that's it right there. And that does pay a dividend too. All right, you want to see this one? So if you did it over the last, then it should come up. LVMUY. Oops. LVMUY. All right, you put $1,000 in, same thing. In 10 years, it's worth $50,000. That's good money for you, or you put kids in. You want to go something real crazy and go 20 years, calculate your returns. You're at 6 figures. You know what I mean? There's a retirement. There you go. Hey, they'd be happy with that. You know what I'm saying? But same thing on this. Look, you saw this huge parabolic move up. We saw it starting selling off. You want to buy down here and hold it. And then I see that this has dividends. If it does not have dividends, I personally don't like to buy it, because if I'm going to get stuck holding it for a while, I want to be able to at least get paid for holding that company. You know what I mean?